Today, our champion, Steve Renaud of Southbridge, Massachusetts, faces the challenge of Paul Berger of Hopedale, Massachusetts, on Candlepin Bowling. Hi, everybody. Welcome once again to Candlepin Bowling. I'm Don Gillis, and I'm glad you could join us right here at the Fairway in Natick, Massachusetts, on Route 9, just a little bit west of the city of Boston, for 3 strings of Candlepin Bowling. Total pinfall determines our winner, and each of our participants today will go home with a permanent souvenir, one slightly smaller than the other, from the Ace Trophy Company of Boston. We also have guaranteed prize money, $1,200. $700 goes to the winner, $350 goes to the runner-up, $50 available to the winner of each string. Obviously, if they tie, they split that at $25 apiece. The runner-up will receive an additional prize, a $50 gift certificate from Super 7 Tire Dealers, which I have in my hand here, and the big white one is the $50 gift certificate from True Value Hardware Stores and Home Centers. That goes to our marksman of the day, the bowler with the most marks. There are several other opportunities for our bowlers to get a little richer. I'll tell you about that as the program continues, but right now let's meet today's bowler, shall we? Actually, it seems funny to say meet because you've been on here so many times, Paul Berger, but we haven't seen you for a little while. What's new in your life since I saw you last?
Switch jobs.
I noticed that, yes, and I'm assuming that your 2 sons will be rewarded because you now have a bigger salary and a much bigger job and so forth, that you're now a manager.
That's true. I also noticed that the young kids were on quite a bit. I figured it was time to get a gray hair on.
That's right. Steve, any superstitions? Do you feel good about the number 7, or do you have any...
Just going to take it one step at a time.
Not even going to think about what appearance it is or anything else, huh?
Just gonna
well, so far, it's been very kind to you, that big bowling ball that you're not... That's a terrible thing, because I said a big bowling ball. I mean a Candlepin bowling ball. But it's been a big one for you, as you've been knocking down an awful lot of pins, and you are right now in 5th place for our big championship show on August the 27th.
I'd like to see it hold, but I don't know. 12-15.
You know this guy. He's been there before. And he's right now with a 131 league average. Boy, and a 128 should be a good one. Good luck to you, and good luck to you, Paul. All right, and we'll get underway right after this. Okay, on the line, Paul Berger, today's challenger. Paul leaves a little triangle over on the left. It's the 2, 4, and 5. Not an easy spare leave, as we have learned over the long time. He made it look easy. Paul gets an 8, and now he has side-by-side 5 and 6, and no wood to help. I told you his league average is 131. Paul's high single is 191. His high triple is 493. And his new job is with Sun Microsystems as their purchasing manager. Okay, here now is Steve Renaud. And Steve has been rolling along. He has already completed. Let's see what he's left us with here. 1, 2, 4, 9, and 10. He has 6 straight wins. This is his 7th week. His first appearance ever on our show was a year ago, and at that time he defeated Dan Lasco, John Miller, and then lost to Dick O'Connell. This year he came on as a challenger to Dick O'Connell and defeated him. And in succession has knocked off Gary Stone, Bob DeBadges, Bob Allison, Bob Kelly, and Peter Pereira, Jr. Boy, he just held that one too long. League average 128, high single 187, high triple 481, a 663 in winning his roll-off. Paul Berger at a 666 in winning his. Eight. Paul Berger's first appearance on our program was 12 years ago, back in April of 1976. Just a little too full on that head pin, and he's left with 2, 4, 7, 6, 10. No wood. An 8. This is the 30th appearance on our show for Paul Berger. As I said, the first one was back in 1976, and that was an unsuccessful bid. He lost by 2 pins to Alan Wallace. So 2 marks in the first 4 boxes for Paul Berger. Our defending champion, Steve Renaud, still looking for his first. There it is, a hammer. Nope, held that one a little too long and had it go too far to the left. Twice he's done that now, just not releasing the ball as quickly as he should. Missed the head pin that time. So 8 is the fill on the strike. 8 in the box. And we take our first check on the scoreboard, as we do after 4 boxes in the first string and in the second. Paul Berger has a bonus ball yet to be thrown, and with pins already down, he leads 46-44. Challenger Paul Berger now ready to roll in the 5th box of the first string. Spare leave, 1 and 3. There it is. Big 9 for the fill, and he has the kingpin to pick up for $50 in bonus money. As you know, any combination, strikes or spares in the same string, establishes the bonus of $50. Too full on the head pin. Winds up with 1 pin less than a full spread eagle as the 10 went down. Nice 10. Big explosive shot, but he still finds himself left with a 4-5. Oh, baby, he got the ball to bounce off the sidewall, and it just missed that 4-pin. Just missed it. 9. Paul Berger's bonus is alive, as you know. After establishing the bonus with the 3 marks, then each consecutive mark in that same string following those is worth $50. All right, 6 is the fill. Object pin becomes number 1. The pocket will be the 1-3. He's got 1, 3, 6, and 7. Did not, nope, missed the head pin. Our 1-7-10 high-low jackpot at the end of the show now up to $550. If neither hits it, we'll add 25 and do that every week till somebody walks away with it. Our home viewer jackpot up to 150. Pretty close to a hammer, but he left the kingpin. In those 29 previous appearances, Paul has 19 wins, 10 losses. Now the mark. So far, our defending champion, Steve Renaud, has 1 mark, strike in the 3rd. And another strike, this time in the 7th. Missed the head pin, but he gets 7 with the first ball and is left with 1, 3, 10. Nope. Just a little too far left on that head pin. It's a 10. Now Paul Berger coming up. Al Giglio keeping score on that big scoreboard. Keith Williams keeping score beside me. Paul Berger. 1, 2, 10. Our lob line judge and referee, Ralph Stewart, in his accustomed spot. Yes! Piece of wood came back and kicked over the pin that he thought perhaps he was not going to get. Big 9, and set up for a 3rd mark in a row and more bonus money, already having surpassed his average of 131, which is a super Candlepin bowling average, as you well know. Now at 144 plus. That's an even 150. And congratulations from Steve Renaud. No break there, as he got a good 1-3 pocket hit, but he's left with a split 4, 7, and 10. 2 pieces of wood over near the 4-7 and another midway over toward the 10. Four didn't go. Got the 2 corners. $102. Two, 4, 7, and 8 with wood, and over on the right, 6 and 10. Nope. $112, but that's a 38-pin deficit. Steve not too happy as he looks at what he did, because his league average, I told you, is 128. Paul's is 131, and Paul Berger leads by 38 pins at the end of 150 to 112. It's the middle string. That means our defending champion leads it off. He is Steve Renaud of Southbridge, Massachusetts. This is his 7th week. A little bit too full. 2-4-7 on the left, 3 and 9 on the right. And he got just the 9. So it is a 9 box to begin. Seven pin with wood in front of it, and on the right, 6 and 10 with wood, and another piece of wood where the 5 would be, which could move over. Yes. Missed the head pin. Got the 4 pins to the right. Four more still standing. It's a 9. One, 3, 7, and wood in front of the 7. Big surprise there as the number 1 flew up high but did not come down and hit the piece of wood in front of the 7 or the 7 itself. So it's still there. And that's a surprise. Probably more of a surprise to Paul Berger than anyone. Waiting for wood to settle down. I mentioned our scorekeepers and our referee and lob line judge. Don Riley is our statistician and coordinator. Phil Rubin, of course, is our producer-director. And right now we're going to concentrate on Steve Renaud. Oh, he wanted that 10 to go down. He got 7 as a fill on his spare, but he's got 4, 7 over on the left and the 10 alone over on the right. Nope, they're still there. Our crew today is Eddie Barron, Roger Rice, Rich O'Neill, and Dick Erickson. A 9. Two full on the head pin and left for the spread eagle. One of the most frustrating leaves of all because you know you've done your job. You come right in and smack that head pin. But very, very difficult. Not impossible. It can be made. It is occasionally, but it's almost, you have to have some luck in order to do it. So he leaves the goalposts. 2 and 3. Now Paul Berger comes up. That's a tough leave. He's got parallel pins in the 4 and 5 and in the 7 and 8. But he does have a piece of wood that may help. Well, we've got to wait to see what it does. Right now, it's trying to decide whether to stay where the 5 pin, right in front of the 5 pin, where the 1 pin would be, or whether it's going to roll in between the 4 and 5. It's going to stay out where number 1 would be. So he will be utilizing it. Watch what he does with it. Nope, it didn't go. By the way, next week's challenger will come from Pepperell, Massachusetts, Bill Hart. Now here's a spare leave. Two, 4, 7. Ooh, missed the 2, and he can't believe it himself. Ten. Another check on the scoreboard. Right at the moment, Steve Renaud has picked up 5 of those 38 pins, as after 4 boxes here in the second, he is leading 43-38. Approach the midpoint of the match right now, our defending champion Steve Renaud on the line. That time he missed the head pin, whereas before the problem might have been coming too full on it, leaving a spread eagle. 1, 7, 8, 10. Still has 7 and 8 there. Waiting for a piece of wood to settle down. Steve right now in 5th place for our True Value Championship show. That, of course, is the $20,000 in prize money, $10,000 first prize, August 27th. And he makes the 10. By the way, on August the 27th, set your clock 1 hour earlier. That championship show is going to start at 11. It'll be on from 11 to 12:30. Mark your calendar, will you? August 27th, the biggie, the live show, $20,000 prize money starting at 11, from 11 to 12:30. Too bad he didn't get that one. Paul Berger. There's his first mark in the middle string. Two full on the head pin that time, and he's got the spread eagle, so 4 have dropped. Now the second bonus ball. Boy, he really moved them. It's interesting how some bowlers like on the spread eagle to go to the right side, others to the left. Made a 10 out of it. Now Steve Renaud. Paul Berger has picked up a 3-pin lead here to add, so he's up by 41 right now in the match over this man, our defending champion, Steve Renaud. Steve answers with a strike. Is he going to have 2? No. 3 strikes in a row, an extra bonus of $1,000. Only bonus money right now has gone to Paul Berger completely. Winning the first string, also having 3 marks in a row in the 4th, 5th, and 6th box, and in the 8th, 9th, and 10th. Now Steve has 2 in a row. Paul Berger. He gets himself a spare leave over on the left side. 4 and 7. Piece of wood rolling around. I've reminded you that our championship show on August 27th, and by the way, Steve Renaud is in 5th place right now in that, so he's the most vulnerable at the moment. It's going to start at 11 a.m. And speaking of championships, right after this show today on Channel 5 in Boston at 1 o'clock, it will be the Massachusetts Bowling Association State Championship Lady Singles. That'll be, Brian Leary will be hosting that right after this. And Paul did not get what he thought he was going to get, an automatic spare. Lady Singles to follow on Channel 5 in Boston. State Championship. Next week, right after this show, it'll be the men's singles. The week after, the ladies' all events. And then the final week of the state championships, the men's all events. All of them immediately following this show at 1 p.m., Channel 5, Boston. And Paul did not get that. And it's an 8. So Paul has had just 1 mark, the strike in the 5th, after having 7 marks in the first string. Now Steve Renaud. He has a strike and a spare, so he's throwing a bonus ball right now. He got a big hit there and got a 9 drop. Single pin. He's got the 6 pin to pick up. And he makes it. So 3 marks in a row. And Steve Renaud has his first bonus money, $50 in bonus money. He took a deep breath on that one because he punched out on the left-hand side a half Worcester, the 2 and 8. Again, 2 full. A 6. So that puts him at 120, and he still has not hit his average, which is 128. Now, Paul Berger at 83 at the moment. 2 boxes to go in the middle string. Now he has the 3 and 9. Ordinarily a tough shot, but he's got wood in between. So he makes the spare. And a strike. 113 right now. And 2 bonus balls to throw. So he could not only retain his 38-pin lead, he could add to it. On the first as he has the spread eagle. 117. 120. They tie, so they will split it at $25 apiece so far as the $50 available to the winner of each string is concerned. Paul Berger in excellent position, even though he didn't bowl his average in the second string, but that's what averages are for, because right now he's averaging 135 after 2 strings, and he needs a 30 for a 400 in the third string, a 130. Okay, score after 2. Paul Berger 270, Steve Renaud 232. All right, here's the third string. And ahead by 38 pins is our challenger, Paul Berger, who is on the line. 1, 7, 8, and 10. Nine. Three, 6, 10 on the right, 7 alone on the left. Well, I shouldn't say alone. It has 2 pieces of wood in front of it, but the only pin standing. He did not get it. Went a little too far to the right. Paul's biggest day on this show had to be November 19th, 1983. That's when he beat Tom Olsta, but he did it by beating Tom Olsta by 90 pins, 464 to 374. Steve Renaud, and he begins the third string with a strike. First bonus ball, 2 full on that head pin. Two and 8, and on the right, 3, 6, 10. 2 pieces of wood just to the left of the 2 and 8. The 3 pins on the right have gone. He still has 2 and 8. It's a 9. Paul Berger gets a break as the 8-pin drops, and he's left now with the 3, 6, 10, and wood right across the front of it. What a surprise that was. The 6 is still there. Looked as if he was just going to hit that piece of wood and drive it right through and take the 3 pins down, so he has to settle for a 9. There's a big hit. He's left now with that same 6-pin, but this time it represents a spare by itself. And he did not get it and turns away in disbelief. Ten. Well, let's see now whether Steve Renaud can take advantage of this, because Paul opened the door for him in both the 3rd and 4th when it appeared that he was going to have spares in each of those boxes. Six, 7, 9. 4 pieces of wood, 1 in front of the 9, 1 between the 9 and the 6, 1 over where the 5-pin would be, and another one over where the 10 would be. And he would like to have this one move from that 5 spot a little closer to where the 3 would be. And then he can kick that piece of wood over towards the 7 and drive through and get the 6 and 9. Let's see whether he can do it or not. Yes! Yes! Strike! Paul Berger, today's challenger, on the line. There goes the 10. He's left with just the 7. He's got 5 pieces of wood, but they don't mean anything. He's going to go right for that 7. And he has it for a spare. Spare in the 5th for Paul Berger, today's challenger. Renaud gets 4. And he's left with 4 horsemen plus 5 and 9. 4 horsemen right side. They're still there. 1 and 9 still there. It's a 10. Steve Renaud comes up. He has a strike. 2 bonus balls to throw, and he's opposite a spare. Actually, a spare 4, because that's complete by his challenger. First bonus ball nets him 7, but leaves him a tough split. The 2 pin, the 6, and the 10. Boy, he scared them. He didn't make them, but he scared them. 8. Paul Berger is still leading by 16. Steve Renaud went too far left that time. Four boxes to go, and it's a 17-pin lead in the match for Paul Berger. Big hammer. First ball gets him 6 and leaves him a split 4-7, 6-10. 8 is the fill. 10. Steve Renaud. Down by 17 and opposite a strike and 8. Coming just a wee bit too full on the head pin, and he's left with almost a spread eagle. 3 on the right, 2 on the left. What a shot! A beautiful spare. A beautiful, beautiful spare by Steve Renaud. And he comes back with a strike. Paul Berger. Paul leading by 15 right now as he moves into the final 2. And he has very definite spare lead. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Exit for the 10. Now he has another spare leave with the 10 alone. He makes it. $110. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 more. 114. Steve did not want that. He needs a 152. He has 5 pins standing. Got 9. All right, he needs, right now, as I told you, he needs a 152. He needs a double strike. That did it, and Paul Berger is our new champion. After 7 weeks. And Paul Berger is our new champion. Steve Renaud was on for 7 consecutive weeks and rolled a fine, finishing 141 to pick up another $50 in bonus money and to wind up with a fine 373. So give him $50 in bonus money for that 3rd string. Paul Berger is our new champion. Final score, 384 to 373. 757, that is our number today, and of course we allow 10 pins either side of that, as you well know. That means that 747 to 767 would win what is in the jackpot, the home viewer jackpot, and that is right up to $150. I remind you again that we want just postcards, and we limit it, obviously, to just, as I've said many, many times, 1 per day. And please send them along to this address. If you do, it would be Candlepin Bowling, WCVB-TV, 5 TV Place, Needham, Massachusetts, and the zip code number is 02192. We give 10 either side, but also remember, even if the person is nowhere near that, they're always rewarded, that is, that's the word I was trying to say, rewarded with several prizes. That Phil Rubin, he is so generous, and he has that big closet with all the prizes for you. What's in there today, Phil?
An Ames flower and garden tool set. This 4-piece set includes a flower and garden shovel, cultivator, bow rake, and garden hoe with a 42-inch handle. You'll love the smaller, more compact size. And Conair, leader in hair care, brings you the finest products available today. Jerry Redding's European styling foam and milk and honey shampoo, plus Conair professional styling brushes. And Schaefer pens, fine writing instruments that are also fashion accessories. Twist action ballpoint, 23-karat gold electroplated accents in a range of colors.
All right, 757. Let's see whether we have somebody who's going to win $150. Of course, I guess you all know that as soon as we do have a winner, we empty out this barrel and start all over again, and the jackpot starts at 50. So let's see whether we're going to empty it out or not today. This is Yvonne Boulay of Nashua, New Hampshire, and her guess is 805. Okay, so next week it's going to be worth $200. Before I forget it, on Channel 5 in Boston today, it will be the ladies singles of the Massachusetts Bowling Association Championship, which will be seen immediately after we sign off between 1 and 1:30. Brian Larry will be your host. That will be the Massachusetts Bowling Association 1988 Ladies Singles Championship, immediately following this. Well, Paul, we've been putting up those 3 pins for weeks and weeks and weeks. Right now, $550. Steve. Wow. Thought sure you had it that time. You did too, didn't you?
definitely thought I had it that time.
Boy, I don't blame you. You come over here close to me now, because I've been having you in the background all this for the last 6 weeks. This time you get the smaller version, and you also get the $50 gift certificate from Super 7 tire dealers. You made a run, didn't you, huh?
Well, I tried in the last few boxes there.
Yeah.
Ball got ripped off of the mark there, and the last box I said, ease the pressure a little bit.
Well,
But,
let's see. We have $350 for you, plus $175, and it's been a pretty good 7 weeks, right?
I'll take it. I'll take it. I enjoyed it very much.
Well, we enjoyed having you. You're a fine young bowler. You get the
Thank
ace
you.
trophy here and your certificate, and we'll see you...
Next year I'll be
No,
trying.
you'll be here in August, aren't
I
you?
hope so.
All right, okay.
We'll see.
And Paul is hoping that he is... well, no, you'd have to knock him off to do that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's right.
You were trying very... what were you doing? Playing a game? You got so far ahead you thought we'd be bored watching? Is that what you said? You wanted to make it more exciting?
I like an exciting match. If they'd given me another string, I'd have been in the 80s.
Okay, here you go. The big trophy, the $50 gift certificate, $700, $175, and as a reward, Bill Hart, who had a roll-off score of 742, will be your challenger. Don Gillis and the whole crew. Bye-bye, everybody.